Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe Radhe everyone. So we are continuing to read from the Saints of Vraja, and last time we just arrived out of the story of Pandit Sri Ramakrsna Das Babaji. So we just continue from there. I think Pandita. Did you take the
I remember 72.
So this is just the
here. Oh my God.
Yeah? Oh. No, I lost it.
Okay. I lost.
No problem. We'll just.
I think 72. Yeah, also. I remember 18
So I will just read a little bit and remember. Yeah. Okay. You're about a snake.
Yeah. How?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start from here. One day, when Baba was doing bhajan inside a cave, a poisonous snake crawled over his body and coiled around his chest and neck. But he continued his bhajan undisturbed. After some time, the snake crawled down and disappeared. At night, Baba heard a voice. Someone said, "You leave this cave." Immediately Baba left the cave and began to live in Shamkuti, near Kusum Sarovar. Pandit Baba never gave Diksha to anyone, but many people who received instructions from him in bhajan regarded him as their Shiksha Guru. Important among these were Sri Gauranga Das Ji, Sri Priya Sharan Das Ji, Sri Kripasindhu Das Ji, Sri Vishnu Das Ji, Sri Keshav Das Ji, and Sri Lalit Mohan Goswami. There were also some who, although never initiated by anyone, regarded him alone as their guru, as for example, Thakur Kushal Sina of Gijagara, Gauranga Das Babaji, whose former name was Dhirendranath Chakravarti, and who was the son of a rich landlord of Calcutta and a brilliant student of Scottish Church College, Calcutta, renounced the world at the age of 20. He took Diksha from Siddha Shri Ram Das Babaji Maharaj of Calcutta and came to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, he began to do bhajan under the guidance of Siddha Shri Jagadish Das Baba. Jagadish Das Baba was very much impressed by his bhakti bhav and extraordinary intelligence. He asked him to study the Shastras from Pandit Baba. Pandit Baba took special interest in him and began to teach him. In due course, he acquired mastery over Srimad Bhagavatam, Sat Sandarbha, and the other Bhakti Shastras. Pandit Baba then asked him to take up one book after another and deliver discourses on it in the presence of sadhus who had again started coming to him in the evening. His discourses began to attract large crowds and became a regular part of Baba's routine in the evening. Priya Sharan Baba also was young when he came to Vrindavan. He was a student at Varanasi and came to Vrindavan on a short visit. But on meeting Pandit Baba, he felt so much drawn by him that he never went back. Although he was already initiated in Nimbarka Sampradaya, he accepted him as his Shiksha Guru and began to do bhajan under his guidance. Baba guided him according to the mode of worship and meditation prevalent in the Nimbarka Sampradaya. Just as Gauranga Das rose to be a famous Siddha Mahatma and a leader of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Priya Sharan Baba rose to be an eminent Mahatma of the Nimbarka Sampradaya. About this time also came Kripa Sindhu Das Baba. He endeared himself so much to Baba by his devotion to him that he accepted him as his lifelong companion and servant. He made good progress in bhajan under Baba's guidance. He became so advanced and so much attracted to Baba inwardly that he could know his mental condition even when he was away at some distance. Once Baba was ill. He became so weak that he could not speak. He felt thirsty and asked for water by saying, "Ah, ah," which the people by his side could not understand. Kripa Sindhu had at that time gone out for Madhukari. He also began to feel very thirsty. He drank water a number of times, but the thirst could not be quenched. He understood intuitively that Baba was thirsty. Hastily, he returned to Baba and gave him water. His thirst was automatically quenched along with Baba's. Baba had severe toothache. A doctor was called to extract the teeth. The doctor asked Baba, "Which tooth aches, Baba?" "I do not know," replied Baba. The doctor laughed and said, "Then who knows, Baba?" "Kripa Sindhu knows." Kripa Sindhu pointed out the teeth. In 1918, Pandit Baba had influenza. He was brought to Vrindavan for treatment. For 8 years, he lived in Vrindavan at different places. From 1926, he began to live in Dauji's Bagicha, where he lived until the end. Vishnu Das came to Baba when he had shifted to Dauji's Bagicha. He was at that time only 14 years old. He was sent by his guru, Sri Yadunandan Das Babaji of Suryakund, to serve Pandit Baba in his old age and to do bhajan under his guidance. He came all the way from Suryakund to Vrindavan on foot. Because the day was very hot, he got fever on the way. When he reached Dauji's Bagicha, the fever was so high that he lay down near the well. Baba came out.
Radha, I think the basement fell out a little bit. Let's wait a couple of minutes. The electricity went on and off.
Thank you, Gopika Didi.
Jai Radha! Oh.
Mi sa che non c'è connessione, è fermato tutto.
È andata via la corrente a Vrindavan.
Sì, completamente, peccato.
Peccato.
It's all internet connection because Gurudev also fell out. Only I'm on mobile, that's why.
No, no.
Ha detto Gopika che tutti a Vrindavan è saltata la connessione a tutti, meno che a lei che sta sul telefonino.
Jai Ho, but now you're on mute, Sridhar Bhaiya.
Yeah, so we just stopped. We did not continue, so we'll just start again from where we stopped. The hand once held.
Cidar, mi senti? Scusa, puoi dirmi a che pagina sei arrivato? E se puoi ridarmi...
Siamo rimasti lì, 174, alla fine, la terz'ultima riga.
And I have to set her name, Maria.
Okay. Potete ridarmi la stanza dell'italiano perché l'ho persa.
No,
Grazie.
Scusa. Madhurya.
No, she has another name.
Yeah,
no, it's just Madhurya. Okay.
Posto. Okay. So, for those who have the book, we just are still there. Page 174 at the end. Third line before the end, or not to say in English. The hand once held by Baba was never left. Vishnu Das remained with Baba until the end, following him like a shadow wherever he went. Vishnu Das Baba gained much from Baba's company.
Sì.
Yeah. Baba used to be absorbed in Lila even when he went out for Madhukari with Vishnudas. His inner experience was sometimes transferred to Vishnudas like an electric current on account of his touch, because he often held his arm or shoulder while going and coming. One day, in the month of June, Baba was returning to Iskutir after Madhukari with Vishnudas, his left hand resting upon his right shoulder. Suddenly, on the way, Vishnudas experienced that the environment had changed. The hot wind of June had turned into cool and soothing breeze of winter, and the atmosphere was filled with the sweet smell of kadamba flowers of spring. Vishnudas seemed to be transported into a state of bliss. He said, "Baba, what is this?" Baba said, "By Radharani's grace, you have been given a glimpse of the real nature of Vrindavan. Vrindavan is celestial. It only appears to be terrestrial. In Vrindavan, all the seasons coexist and serve Radha Krishna according to their wish. When a sadhaka's heart is purified by bhajan, he sees the spiritual Vrindavan and the Leela that eternally goes on here." Thakur Kushal Sina was a big Jagiradara of Rajasthan. Jagiradar, I think is Jagiradar, not Jagiradara. It is the A final text. It's not Jagiradar. I don't know. Anyone knows? Jagiradar. Was a big Jagiradar of Rajasthan and the Chief Justice of Jaipur High Court. Maybe some role political army. He was also very learned, religious, fearless, and strong-willed. He resigned the post of Chief Justice and came to Baba with the intention of renouncing everything and becoming a sadhu. He requested Baba to give him Vesha, Vaishnav Sannyas. Baba said, "You need not renounce. Is it not possible to do bhajan as a householder? My days are gone. Bedtime is now coming. Sadhus will do everything that is done by a Grihastha. They will build palatial buildings, keep bank accounts, and live luxuriously. It is better to stay at home and do bhajan quietly. Thus, you will not be known as a saint, and nobody will come to disturb you. Kushal Sinaji gave up the idea of becoming a sadhu. He used to come to Vrindavan once in a month or two and return to Jaipur after living in Baba's company for some time. Thakur Hari Sina was the Jagaridar of Pneumonia in Jaipur state. Like Kushal Sinaji, he also regarded Baba as his guru and used to come to him for satsang. Once he said to Baba, "Baba, my wife is seriously ill. Astrologers have predicted that her stars are bad and she will die soon. The doctors have also lost all hope for her. Kindly advise what she should do in her last days for her salvation." Baba said, "Let her read Srimad Bhagavatam. Her stars will become favorable." The stars are unfavorable only to the people who are not devoted to the Lord. They are friendly and serviceable to those who are devoted to the Lord. But she's too weak to be able to read Bhagavatam, said Sri Hari Sinaji. Then you can read to her. Thakur Hari Sina started reading Bhagavatam to her. The stars actually turned in her favor. She became all right and is alive until this day. Rangopal Goswami came to Vrindavan from Kolkata every year and read Srimad Bhagavatam and other Bhakti scriptures before Baba for a month. Rangopal Goswami is our Param Gurudev of our Param Gurudev of Radha Govinda Das Babaji. Sorry, Gurudev of Param Gurudev of Radha Govinda Das Babaji. Rangopal Goswami. Rangopal Goswami is the Gurudev of our Param Gurudev of Radha Govinda Das Babaji. Yeah, I'm just reading. Rangopal Goswami came to Vrindavan from Kolkata every year and read Srimad Bhagavatam and other Bhakti scriptures before Baba for a month. Once, even before the scheduled time of his arrival, Baba began to make anxious inquiries about him from everyone who came. People were surprised and said, "Baba, why are you so anxious? He will come at a scheduled time in the afternoon. It is only about 12 o'clock now." But Prangopal came one day late because there was a train collision at Bamarovli and hundreds of people traveling in the same train in which he was traveling died. The compartment in which he and his party were traveling was safe, while the compartments just before and after were completely crushed. When Prangopal arrived in Vrindavan, he said that Baba's anxiety has saved him and has saved him and his party. Otherwise, how could this compartment remain safe when those before and after it were crushed? Rangopal Goswami was famous for his learning and masterly exposition of the Shastras. He was generally regarded as the final authority on all religious matters. Whenever anyone had any doubt or difficulty, he approached Rangopal Goswami for solution. But when Rangopal Goswami himself had any doubt or difficulty, he sought the advice of Baba. Baba invariably solved his difficulty. Many times, the difficulty was solved merely by going to Baba and without actually referring it to him. His mere presence was enough to infuse intuitively into his mind the right solution. Even more mysterious than this was the manner in which Baba once solved the difficulty of Gaurangadas Babaji relating to the commentary of the Sutra, Anandamayo Abhyasat. At that time, Baba was living in a cave at Ramakrsna, which is known as Madan Mohan Kitibari. Gaurangadas went and expressed his difficulty to Baba from outside the cave. He heard Baba giving the solution from inside.
A Natale?
Capodanno.
Sto qua. Cas.
Bhakti, c'hai il microfono aperto?
Scusate.
Yeah, okay. No matter.
Wow, nice.
He then asked Gaurangadas, have you understood? Yes, Baba, said Gaurangadas. But when Gaurangadas was returning from his kutir, he was surprised to see Baba coming from the opposite direction with Amolaka Ram Shastri. Gaurangadas said, Baba, I have just been to your cave. I had some difficulty with a sutra, and you solved it. How is it that I now see you here? Baba parried the question and said, many Siddha saints live in Vrindavan who are invisible. They help the sadhakas in their difficulty unnoticed. Pandit Baba was a living example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Trinadapi Sunichana sloka, according to which one should be humble like a blade of grass and respect everybody without desiring to be respected by anyone. Whenever he went to a religious gathering in which katha or kirtan was going on, he sat behind everyone else. No one had the courage to request him to take a forward seat. He never allowed anyone to touch his feet. A resident of Bihar who suffered from severe stomach ache was told by someone in a dream, if you rub the dust of Pandit Baba's feet, your disease would be cured. He also gave him the address of Pandit Baba. The man came to Vrindavan. He met Pandit Baba in Bankhandi when he was returning to his kutir after Madhukari. He wanted to touch his feet, but Pandit Baba rebuked him and did not let him touch his feet. The man felt very much mortified and disappointed. Someone advised him to see Kripasindhu Baba. Kripasindhu Baba advised him to take a pinch of dust from Baba's footprint when he went out for shaucha, nature's call, next morning. He did the same. He was cured of the disease immediately after rubbing the dust of Baba's feet on his forehead. Another man of Bihar who was suffering from the same disease also came to Baba. He said, Baba, I have come from Bihar. I am suffering from a bad stomach disease. If you kindly let me have the dust of your feet, I am sure I will be cured, Baba said. The disease will be cured not by taking the dust of my feet, but by giving me the dust of your feet. As he said this, he took the dust of his feet and rubbed it on his forehead. This man's disease was also immediately cured. Once a man who saw Ramdas Babaji Maharaj of Padbari Ashram, Calcutta, touching the feet of Pandit Baba, said to him, "If you can allow a great saint like Ramdas Babaji to touch your feet, why can't you allow us?" Baba replied, "Ramdas Babaji is a Mahatma. Whether he touches my feet or asks me to touch his, in either case I have to acquiesce. I consent.
Consenso?
Yeah. Acquiesce.
No.
Consent. To agree. Baba was generally courteous to the visitors, but when someone went to him with some worldly proposition or did something which was against the Vaishnava rules of conduct, he became furious. Once a Raja came to him in his usual dress with all his retinue. He brought with him a purse full of gold mohurs. But he kept the purse before Baba and sat down. Baba asked, "What is this?" "Some gold mohurs, Baba." What is mohurs? Ornaments or something. "Some gold mohurs, Baba. You can use them as you like," replied the Raja. You want to see these mohurs? Baba said, "They are of no use to me. You give them to someone else. But I have brought them for you, Baba. You have to take them." The Raja said in a somewhat dictatorial tone. Baba became furious. He showered a volley of abuses upon him and asked him to quit. Still the Raja persisted. Baba then shouted, "If you do not leave at once with your purse, I will break my head." He was about to beat his head against the ground when the Raja stood up, took the purse, and went away. The Raja was friendly with a Vrajabasi Pandit. He narrated the whole story to him and said, "What kind of a Siddha Mahatma is he? I wanted to do some service to him, but he suddenly vituperated." Which means?
It means that you get angry.
Vituperated and gave me 1,000 abuses. What business had he to insult me like this? The Brajabashi said, "The fault is yours. What you thought was service to Baba was actually disservice to him. You persisted in this service. Therefore Baba became angry. You have committed an offense against him, and by doing so, you have invited the wrath of the Lord, who never excuses anyone for an offense committed against his devotee. You can be freed from the offense if you go with me to Baba and do as I say. If you do that, you will also see how kind-hearted and courteous he is." The Raja agreed to do as the Brajavasi advised. He went along with him to Baba the next day. As advised by him, he did not take his attendants with him and did not put on the royal dress. He went like an ordinary man with tilak on his forehead, tulsi kanti round his neck, and a rosary bag in his hand, which made him look like a Vaishnav devotee. Both he and the Brajabasi Pandit performed dandavat before Baba and sat down. After Baba had inquired about the Pandit's welfare, the Pandit said, I am told that the Raja caused much annoyance to you yesterday. I am sure he will come to grief for the offense he committed. Baba said, No, he did not commit any offense. He was very good. Although a Raja, he heard my abuses without saying anything. I abused him for his own good. If I had accepted his purse and used it in the service of the Vaishnavas, it would have poisoned their mind. Besides, they would have been harassed by thieves and dacoits. The Raja would have had to suffer on account of his responsibility in bringing about that state of affairs. The Raja was moved to hear this. He fell upon Baba's feet and said, Baba, I am that foolish Raja. Kindly excuse me for the offense committed by me. Once, Gaurangadas Babaji went to Radha Kund. He was to stay there for the night and return the next morning. He was persuaded by a sadhu of Baul Sampradaya to stay a night with him. His real intention was to convert him to his faith, in which the company of a woman was an essential part of sadhana. He treated him well, gave him nice things to eat, and arranged for his bed. When he was sleeping, he felt the soft touch of a woman massaging his feet. He suddenly got up, rebuked the lady and the sadhu, and left for another place. The sadhu feared that sooner or later Gaurangadas will report the matter to Pandit Babaji, and it would become impossible for him to stay in Vraja. He thought that Pandit Baba would probably not give credence to his report if he poisoned his mind against him beforehand. He went to him the next morning and said, Baba, you think that Gaurangadas is a good sadhu. You do not know that he secretly keeps the company of women. Baba could not tolerate this. He was wild with rage. He burst out, You, devil, you have the cheek to malign a great saint like Gaurangadas. You do not know what the consequence will be. You will die the death of a barking dog. Go. I have said you will die the death of a dog. Soon after, he was bitten by a mad dog and died barking like a dog. Baba's Vairagya was unparalleled. The only possessions he had in his kutir were langoti, which is a small piece of cloth worn over privates, coping, bahirvas, loincloth, karava, earthen pot, and some books. If anything besides these was brought and kept in his kutir by anyone, it became a victim on his wrath and was thrown out. Once, during summer season, Priya Baba brought a new pitcher full of water and kept it inside the kutir. Baba saw it on returning from Madhukari. Immediately, he brought it outside and smashed it. He asked Priya Why did you bring it? Priya replied, I brought it because it is too hot and you repeatedly ask for water. I know. You brought it because you had to draw water every time from the well. Fool that you are! You do not know that it will cause disturbance in my bhajan by inviting others to drink water. Once Baba was ill. He was advised by the Vaidya to take Vraja. Shyam Sundar Das, a Vaishnav attendant of Baba, used to ionize Vraja with the help of a Kerala, a bowl-shaped pot of stone, and lori, a long and round piece of stone bark for grinding medicine in Kerala. If Baba came to know that a Vaishnav was taking so much trouble for him, he would have stopped taking Vraja. So Shyamasundar did ionization when Baba was out for Madhukari and kept the Kerala and Lori always concealed from him. Somehow the lorry broke and Shyamasundar asked Kushal Sinaji to bring another. One day Baba saw Kushal Sinaji giving something wrapped in a piece of paper to Shyamasundar. After Kushal Sina had gone, he asked Shyamasundar what he had brought. Shyamasundar said, "Nothing, Baba, only a small lorry for grinding Vraja." Baba stood up. His face was red with anger. He picked his caravan and the Madhukari bag and said, "Only a small lorry. You leave here with the lorry. I am off." As he was about to leave, Shyamasundar fell at his feet and said, "Baba, I have committed an offense. Kindly excuse me, otherwise I shall die. Then go and return the lorry immediately." Shyamasundar immediately went and returned the lorry to Kushal Sinaji. Then Baba's anger subsided. Baba took Madhukari only from the Brajabasis. Even from the Brajabasis, he never took anything brought from outside Braj. Once someone brought parabala, a vegetable, in a large quantity for Narahari Das Babaji, the Mahatma of Radha. Narahari Das sent some parabala to Pandit Baba. Pandit Baba said to the man who had brought parabala, "Tell Narahari Baba that he should not send me anything brought from outside Vraja." A visitor who was present said, "Baba, what harm if you take something brought from outside?" Baba replied, "Do you do bhajan? If you did bhajan, you would have realized what harm is done by taking anything brought from outside. An ordinary person may find it difficult to comprehend this, but Baba was not an ordinary person. He was a saint whose heart was pure and totally engrossed in Vraja and Vraja Lila. There was no place in it for anything that was not part and parcel of Vraja Lila, or which was in any way associated with anything outside Vraja. Any such thing appeared to him unacceptable, like a black spot on a white sheet. Baba also did not take the prasad of temples, in which service of the deities was done with the financial aid of a worldly-minded person. Once, Kushal Sinaji brought the prasad of Govindaji from Jaipur, along with a garland of flowers used by Govindaji. Baba wore the garland with pleasure, but he took only a particle of the prasad to avoid aparada and distributed the rest among the Vaishnavas. He said to Kushal Sinaji, "Never bring Govindaji's prasad again. Govindaji alone can digest it." Govindaji's seva was financed by the Maharaj of Jaipur. Again, we may not understand how the prasad financed by a person given to worldly enjoyments is not good for the spiritual health of the sadhaka. But this is a fact which has been verified by the sadhakas times out of number. The subtleties of the spiritual world are beyond the comprehension of our material minds. If Baba was knowingly or unknowingly given anything to eat which did not come from the right source, he could easily direct it on account of the subtle disturbance it created in his mind. Subsequent inquiries about the source always confirmed his intuition. Once, Raja Rishi Banamali Rai Bahadura sent the prasad of his deity Sri Vinodi Lal to Baba. Baba took only a particle of that also and distributed the rest among others. At night, Vinodi Lal said to him in a dream, Why did you not take my prasad? My seva is done out of the earnings of my own property and not Banamali's rice. This was correct. The property out of the income of which Vinodi Lal's seva was done stood in his own name. The next morning, Baba went all the way from Govardhan to Vinod Lala's temples in Vrindavan on foot and begged for his prasad. He ate the prasad to his fullest capacity. After that, he never gave Vinod Lal an opportunity to make a similar complaint. Like any other Siddha Mahatma, Baba had the capacity to perform miracles, but he tried as far as possible not to use it for fear of becoming known as a Siddha Purusha. But if circumstances compelled him to do so, he tried to explain the miracle away in some way or the other. Once, Rangopal Goswami sent him 200 rupees for feeding the Vaishnavas in connection with the death anniversary of his mother. Accordingly, Baba arranged for a feast to which a limited number of Vaishnavas were invited. The same day came Ram Das Babaji and his party of Bengali Vaishnavas from Calcutta. Ram Das Baba sent word to Pandit Baba that he would go to his ashram with his party in the evening and perform Gaur Gadadhar Kirtan. Baba's standing instruction to Kripa Sindhu Das Baba was that any Vaishnava who happened to come to the ashram when an utsav or feast was going on, he must be fed along with the other Vaishnavas. Therefore, extra food for 10 or 12 persons was always prepared. But in Ram Das Babaji's party, there were about 300 Vaishnavas. They could not all be fed with the limited amount of food that was prepared. Kripa Sindhu Baba expressed his concern in this connection to Pandit Baba. Pandit Baba treated the problem lightly. He said, Do not worry, Bengali Vaishnavas eat very little. It's true? This did not relieve Kripa Sindhu Baba of his anxiety. But what could he do? He resigned himself to fate. However, in the evening, when the feast was over, he was surprised to find that everybody had eaten. Still, there was a small quantity of food left. Baba said to Kripa Sindhu, "Didn't I say that the Bengali Vaishnava eat very little?" Kripa Sindhu Baba did not say anything, but he laughed within himself at Baba's cleverness. Gradually, Baba became very old and weak. It was not possible for him to go out for Madhukari. He began to live on fruit juice, but though physically weak, he was mentally alert and his bhajan went on as usual. He got up at 2 o'clock in the morning and continued to sit in japa and lila smaran until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Nam japa had become a part of his life. He continued all the time without any break. Even while asleep, he was sometimes heard chanting the name. His finger, which remained outside the bag of rosary while doing japa, had become so straight and stiff that it could not be bent and used even at the time of eating. Slowly, Baba's intake of fruit juice also became less and less, and his weakness went on increasing. He remained mostly confined to bed in his kutir. When he wanted to go out of the kutir, his attendants carried him on his bed. Once, while he was being brought out in this manner, he chanted humorously, "Ramanam Satya Hai, the name of Lord alone is true." Customarily, this line is chanted aloud by the carriers of a dead body when it is carried to the funeral pyre. Although the line was chanted by Baba in good humor, Kripa Sindhu thought that he had hinted at his end, which was very near. On hearing that Baba's condition had worsened, Kushal Sinaji and Hari Sinaji came from Jaipur. They called a Vaidya from Calcutta and treatment was started. But what could the Vaidya do if Baba himself did not want to live? After a few days, Kushal Sinaji and Hari Sinaji went back to Jaipur. But while taking leave of Baba, Hari Sinaji prayed to him mentally that he and Kushal Sinaji be informed before the apprehended end came. His silent prayer was noted by Baba. Baba asked Kripa Sindhu Das to call Gadadhar Das Babaji Kirtaniya, to call Gadadhar Das Babaji Kirtaniya and his party from Govardhan and arrange for 1 month's Astakalya Lila Kirtan in the ashram. This was another indication to Kripa Sindhu Baba that Pandit Baba was preparing for the end. He made all arrangements for the Kirtan. The Kirtan went on for a month and Baba remained all the time absorbed in Leela. One evening, when all those who were close to Baba were sitting round him, he said, "When I leave the body, you leave the bagicha and go elsewhere." Perhaps he said this to ensure that none of his attendants took possession of the bagicha after him. Someone asked, "Baba, your samadhi?" "No samadhi. Your bhajan will be my samadhi." "And what about utsav?" "Celebration." "No utsav. That day all of you bring Madhukari, sit together and eat. Then he turned his eyes towards the young sadhakas of his ashram and said, save these boys from woman. The next day was Radhastami. The next day was Radhastami. Baba fasted as usual. On Ekadasi, again he fasted. Kripasindhu Baba insisted on both the days that he might take some panchamrit or at least some water, because he was getting weaker and weaker with every fast, but in vain. On greater insistence, he said with folded hands, please, do not break my fast. After a couple of days, he asked Kripasindhu to call Kushal Sinaji and Hari Sinaji by wire. Kripasindhu did not pay any heed to this, because he thought Baba's condition was not yet too serious. The next day, Baba asked again, have you sent the telegram to Jaipur? After this, Baba went into Samadhi. The telegram was sent. On Dvitiya, the second day of Krishna Paksha of the month of Ashvina, Baba suddenly spoke out. He said to Kripasindhu, see, Priya and Priyatam, Radha and Krishna, have come. Priya Priyatam are alone, for your Manjari Swarup, Siddha body, is also there, asked Kripasindhu. Baba replied, my Manjari Swarup is also there. On Chaturthi, the fourth day of the month, Baba asked Kripasindhu to prepare for him a bed of the Raja, holy dust of Vrindavan. Everybody was shocked to hear this. The bed was prepared and Baba was laid on it. Just then arrived Kushal Sinaji and Hari Sinaji from Jaipur. Kushal Sinaji had brought Govindaji's Prashadi Mala garland with him. He put the mala round Baba's neck. The moment he did this, Baba left the body. Govindaji came in the form of the mala and took him away. Jai Pandit Sri Ramakrishna Das Babaji ki Jai. Radha Radha Gurudev, are you there?
Listening. Radhe Radhe.
Radha Radha.
Yeah. So nice classes.
Please, all request.
Very nice, very special. Please. Nature of saintly person. All Babaji will see different. And sannyasi will see in one way. All Baba is different. Some are very sweet, very angry, very kind, very siddha. Very speciality is there. But they all are like and great because they become Manjari. They are practicing in Manjari.
Radhe? Sridhar Bhaiya, can you close that one? Voice. Today, no compromise.
Gurudev?
You should make a few.
Radha?
Yeah, Ram, Gauranga Das Babaji, Priya Charan Das Babaji. I was small, I see them. I listen the names of them. Yeah, Ramakrsna Das Babaji, all there. Very elevated soul.
I paid so much.
I got the chance. They come back.
No, somebody's trying iron.
Iron.
Yeah, so nice.
Gurudev, can I make one question?
Yeah.
Here, there were few examples where it was described a deep internal connection between Baba and his disciples, students, and how like all the feelings, even material feelings, like on the material body, illness, things were also felt by the disciples, by the closest disciple, also thirsty, and it was described how they were just like the shadow. So I want to ask, this is the requirement. We also say, right, that manjaris are shadow of Radhika. So I want to ask that first we have to be shadow of in word of our Gurudev, Guru Manjari, then anything also with Radhika can be understood. If you can say something like this.
We are in the shadow, Manjari of Radhika. That way, my Gurudev is navigating me. Navigation. Who will guide how to serve Radhika? So our closeness, our mercy to be always with Radhika, this is the help of Gurudev. So they are all Guru Manjari and Swamini, they are all one. They feel each other very oneness. You see, Raghunath Das Goswami say, all this bite to your lip means Guru Manjari is telling. Guru Manjari telling to the Manjari, Raghunath Das Goswami. And then he prayed to Radha Rani. Because this mercy comes from Guru Manjari to become servant of Radhika. Guru Manjari Kripa, oneness with the Guru Manjari inside, is spiritual oneness. Help us to connect with Radha Rani. And she is always guiding how to keep this connection. It's a divine connection. Manjari, what is the meaning of Manjari? Who is physically beyond physical, constitutional position, divine position. That is Manjari.
So imagine you, it's your
Anand Das Babaji says, Manjari is a mental conceived body. Mentally conceived body. Mentally means my mind is in different place. How it will conceive? Mind are working in different directions. Please, no love. Conceive. Conceiving. Conceive means mind is totally fixed, one point. Then we conceive. And what is my constitutional position? is condensed. When my thinking becomes condensed, is my constitutional portion. It should be condensed. Thinking has to be condensed. For one point.
How do we become shadows of Guru Manjari Gurudev in the practical way, like how our practice should be?
Frankly, person recommend it should be through the bhajan kriya. Bhajan means chanting, and kriya means mental calculation also in that point. Not that I am chanting something and thinking something. Kriya has to be one-pointed. That is bhajan kriya. I chant and I think something else. This is not a bhajan. Bhajan not namabhas. Kriya means my behavior is thinking in same point. That is kriya. My mind is how many places going. That has to stop. And how to control? The bhajan will control that. When we fix my mind in bhajan, and then kripa comes to us. This is the desire has to be there, and then mercy comes after that. Mercy is very important. Without mercy, no realization comes. By my efforts, not possible. Mercy is important. These are very important points. Thank you. Very nice class. Thank you, Siddha. My goodness.
Your camera is off. Camera.
Also, Gopinath come, he will also share. Give mic.
What to share? Yeah. Guru Manjari.
Sorry?
That is how to be shadow.
Very nice sharing. Thank you so much. And I was not able to listen to all of it, but I know maybe Gopika, you can say what Guru said.
Yeah, thank you so much for this class. It's very, very beautiful. Thank you. You please say something, Sridhar Bhaiya.
I love you.
Radha, I love you. Radha.
Shall we start off with time, please, no?
It's 8 minutes after 6.
So we have another, many others, but the next one, story, is short. Read another.
Yes.
Gurudev, okay? So we read another?
Read one more, Gurudev?
Yeah. Loud.
Sri Manohar Das Balaji. Speaks of Sri Manohar Das Babaji. Manohar Das Babaji's earlier name was Mahendra. 1847 in a village called Madhapura in district Nadia. His mother, Priyari Sundari, died when he was 6 years old, and Father Sri Bholenath Adhikari when he was 13. After the death of his father, he took Diksha mantra from Sri Nanda Kishore Goswami, a descendant of Sri Advaitacharya. Mahendra was fond of learning from his early childhood. He completed his primary education in Atola in Madhapura. After initiation, he went to Navadvip for studying Sanskrit grammar, Alamkar, Nyaya, and Darshan. First under Vipin Chandra Bhattacharya, and then under Sri Krishna Chandra Smriti Ratna. He took Vesha from Shri Swarup Das Babaji of Bana Akhana of Navadvip. After Vesha, he was named Manohar Das. While in Navadvip, Manohar Das Baba had the good fortune of enjoying the company of Siddha Sri Chaitanya Das Baba, Pandit Narottam Das Babaji Maharaj of Banakhana of Navadvip, and Siddha Sri Bhagavan Das Baba of Kalna. In 1881, he went to Vrindavan. For 5 years, he studied Bhakti Shastras from Sri Gopilal Goswami Prabhu of Sri Radharaman Temple and availed himself of the company of Siddha Mahatmas like Balaram Das Babaji of Janumandal, Jagadish Das Baba of Kalidaha, and Nityananda Das Baba of Madan Mohan Thakura. After that, he practiced bhajan in Kusum Sarovar, Kamyaban, and Nandagram. In 1893, someone asked him in a dream to go and live in Govindakund at the feet of Giriraj. Since then, he began to live in a kuti under a banyan tree in a garden in Govindakunda. At this time, Siddha Sri Ramakrishna Das Pandit Baba lived in Puchari, about 1.5 miles from Govindakunda. Often, when he went for Madhukari to village Anaura, he also visited Manohar Das Baba in Govindakund and enjoyed talking with him on various topics relating to the Leela of Radha Krishna. In 1915, Manohar Das Baba built a cave in Govindakund, in which he lived and practiced bhajan throughout the day and came out only in the evening for Madhukari. He did Leela Smaran and Nam Japa all the time. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. Gurudev, what is you say here that he did Leela Smaran and Nam Japa all the time? So, Leela Smaran happened during also Nam Japa, but here is like kind of differentiating.
He is doing Leela Smaran, then Nam Japa is, he cannot do. When Leela Smaran is stopped, then Nam Japa starts. Means to keep that continuous, he starts chanting.
So Nam Japa chanting the name.
Name, chanting name, again to come in Leela Smarana.
Okay, so in Leela Smarana, one becomes fully stop like from the bodily activities, let's say even chanting the chanting the name Japa.
Oh, we cannot chant that. Leela Smaran, other will think that you are sleeping. You cannot move. Body consciousness gone. Japa will be there, but maybe movement is there or no movement is there. When they come out from Leela Smaran, then Namasmaran. Read the line.
He did Leela Smaran and Nam Japa all the time.
Leela Smaran, then Nam Japa. That is our constitutional position. If we not do, again and again we have to take birth for that.
He slept very little, perhaps. Jump one line. Japa and Smarana continued even at night.
You see? Japa and Smaran is a. When we come to Sadhak Deha, again to go in Sarup Siddha Deha, we have to, chanting has to be continued to go inside. If you come in bodily consciousness, this body will bring you out.
So the absorption and revelation of Leela Smaran come during Nam Japa, like while doing the Nam Japa, then suddenly comes. And
that's the bhajan kriya. Then anartha nivritti. Bhajan kriya bring anartha nivritti. Then Nistha coming. Firm faith. Nistha in Istadev, Gurudev, in his Sarupa ways, and your Sarup will come, and Nistha in name coming. We cannot chant. We do so many activities, but chanting is no test. Because the goal is different. Self-realization is not my goal. Then test not come. So I create anartha only. Even in bhajan, if the kriya is outside, is anartha we are creating. Namabhas will happen.
So religious practice on.
I'm chanting and thinking something else. That anartha is not going. It's a new creation I'm creating. Or I'm giving energy to that material thing where mind is going. Is anartha. I'm not free from anartha. Then Nistha coming. So only bhajan can make you anartha nivritti and Nistha. And kripa is important for that. Without mercy, it not happening. Taste will never come. Association, Sangha, and Kripa. Vaishnava Kripa. Guru Kripa. Radha Rani Istadev Kripa. When she gives Kripa, all they give Kripa. Radha.
Repeated Harinam no less than 7 lakhs times a day. He ate only roti, bread, with soup prepared. He ate only roti bread with soup prepared from the leaves of neem tree. Later, he gave up roti and took only milk in very little quantity. He avoided the company of people and spoke very little. He was too humble. He bowed down to all and sundry. Sundry means who?
This means like various
And never allowed anyone to touch his feet. He always thought ill of himself. His absorption in bhajan was so deep that he was almost unaware of the body. Sadhus in Govardhan used mosquito net to protect themselves from mosquitoes. But when they insisted on his using a mosquito net, he said, "Mosquito does not do any harm to us. It only helps us in bhajan by keeping away sleep." Once it was so cold in Vraja that the temperature reached below freezing point. Baba had only a kanta, rags or shreds patched together, to cover himself. At night, his body shivered and created obstruction in bhajan. Getting angry with the body, he went and plunged into the icy cold water of the Govinda Kund. Navadvip Das Baba, who lived nearby, asked him why he plunged into the kunda at night. He replied, "The body has begun to ask for more clothes. It must be disciplined." Navadvip Das Baba said, "In severe cold, it is necessary to use a kilt. Vairagis who have renounced the word do not use kilt," retorted Baba. Baba's wholehearted.
Sì, Maduria, sì, ti sentiamo. Sì, mi sa che non c'è più. Ok, grazie.
He also wrote a book on Harinam titled Namaratna Mala. Once a Vaishnava asked him how to get over the difficulties and obstacles in bhajan. He replied, "One must be firm in bhajan. To a man, who practices bhajan steadfastly and with all his heart and soul, staking for it his life and everything else, the obstacles begin to appear as illusory as the horns of a hare. The Lord himself makes the path of bhajan smooth for him. But this does not happen in a day. Both perseverance and patience are necessary. Manohar Das Baba used to say that bhajan is not possible without complete surrender at the feet of the Lord and total dependence upon Him. It is only in the state of utter dependence on Him that one enjoys the calmness of mind which is necessary for bhajan. A mind which is disturbed by various kinds of worldly anxiety is not fit for bhajan. He defined bhajan as a state in which the mind is constantly absorbed in the meditation of the Lord and revolves to the thought of everything else as to poison. Shri Manohar Das Baba Ji ki Jai. Jai Hol Vaishnava ki Jai. Jai Shri Radhe. Thank you everyone. Jai Ho.
Radhe Radhe